This video was produced to provide you and your team with the information you need to properly adjust the tensioning and tracking for the Eriez suspended magnet belt. Caution: before performing maintenance on your suspended magnet, read Eriez installation, operation, and maintenance manual for the equipment. Stay clear of the magnet while the belt is running. Failure to do so could result in injury or death. The magnet belt has been tensioned and tracked at the factory prior to shipping. However, the shipping and handling or the installation angle of your belt conveyor may require you to retension or retract your belt at startup. It is normal for the belt to sag due to its own weight. This becomes more prevalent on the larger units. Efficient operation can be achieved without applying excess tension. Therefore, the belt should be tightened only enough to prevent slipping on the pulleys when it is conveying iron off the face of the magnet. For best performance, a belt should not be too tight or too loose. Usually a belt sag of up to 3 inches or 75 millimeters at the center is acceptable unless it interferes with material flow. Belt sag indicates whether the belt is too tight or too loose. Belts should have a 1 inch to 2 inch gap at the ends of magnet corners. If the belt is too tight, premature failure of the belt, pulley shafts, or bearings may occur. When a belt is too loose, you may notice excessive sag. For the purposes of this video, we will be tightening a loose belt. Begin by loosening the jam nut on the threaded rod so it does not interfere with your adjustments. Next, loosen both tail pulley bearing bolts on both ends of the pulley prior to adjusting the tensioning. Measure the distance from the shaft of the bearing to the backside of the threaded pusher block as shown. Here the distance is 7 7/8 inches. Using a ratchet, turn the threaded rod to adjust the bearing. To tighten the belt, turn clockwise. When the belt is too tight, you loosen the belt by turning counterclockwise. The distance between the entry angle and the belt should be about the thickness of your hand, approximately 1 to 2 inches, just enough so you can comfortably slide your hand in and out of the gap above the belt. Take another measurement from the shaft to the back of the pusher block and make note of this distance. Here it is now 8.5 inches. Lock the bearing block back down to prevent the pulley from moving. Then tighten the jam nut. Now repeat this procedure on the other side of the pulley. Because we adjusted the distance between the shaft and the back of the bearing block to 8.5 inches on the first side, it should be 8.5 inches on the other side. If the two distances are not identical, the belt will not track correctly on the pulley. Once the tension is the same on both sides of the bottom pulley, you can adjust the tracking on the top idler pulley. Remember, the bottom pulley is for tensioning only. Now you're ready to start the tracking adjustment. The upper pulley is used for tracking, not tension. To maintain your tensioning adjustments, it is recommended that you only adjust tracking on one side. First, loosen the bolts on both ends of the top idler pulley bearings, just enough so the bearing can slide. Then, loosen the jam nut on the take-up bolt. Begin running the machine and observe the shift in the belt. To bring the belt toward you, loosen the take-up bolt. To move the belt away from you, tighten the take-up bolt. Make small adjustments, then step back and watch. If you adjust the take-up bolt too much, the belt will travel too fast along the pulley. To help bring the bearing back to the take-up bolt whenever you loosen it, lightly tap it with a brass or soft head hammer. Using a solid hammer runs the risk of cracking the bearing. Once you have made your adjustments, turn off the machine and tighten the bearing bolts on both ends of the pulley and the jam nuts. Run the machine again to double check your tracking adjustments and make sure the belt stays center. If the belt is too far off the pulley, run the belt in reverse to bring it back toward the center. Sometimes belts may be loose on one side and tight on the other. In this case, loosen the tight side. We hope you found this video informative. You will get outstanding performance from your Eriez suspended magnets if you keep the belt drive adjusted properly. Please check out our other Eriez videos on our YouTube channel or contact us at the telephone number shown on the screen.